So there's one area of the body with regard to muscular imbalances that's often overlooked by most athletes. It's a shame because this area of the body is also associated with the balance or imbalance of the rest of your entire body, and that is your neck. The reason why your neck is so critical with regard to the balance or imbalance of your entire body is because it's the gap, it's the bridge between the survival mechanisms of sight, hearing, chewing, and breathing. And if you have an imbalance in your ability to see, hear, chew, or breathe, it's going to translate down into the rest of your body. And also, imbalances in the rest of your body will translate up towards your head. So it's one of those things that we want to consider because it has that critical role of bridging the gap between our head and our body. So the typical imbalances that are associated with the neck are oftentimes in the sternocleidomastoid, our upper trapezius, scalenes, and levator scapula. And as you can see, my posture is deteriorated or dysfunctional based on having tightness in any one of those muscles. So if you're trying to correct your posture by stretching your shoulders and your biceps and your hips to correct your lower cross syndrome or even your upper cross syndrome and neglecting the stretching of your neck in all of those particular areas, remember it's 360 degrees, right? You've got to stretch the muscles back here, on the sides, and down in here. Then you're neglecting the most critical portion of your stretching routine. So let's begin. The first stretch I'm going to teach you is the upper trapezius. This is the muscle that sort of helps you shrug up a little bit. The way we want to stretch this muscle is by anchoring the shoulder, by holding onto a bench, and then leaning away from it. We also want to make sure that our shoulders are square, chin is tucked, and then we take the opposite hand and put a slight stretch on it. You may also feel a stretch in your bicep and the front of your shoulders also. You want to hold this stretch for about 30 to 60 seconds on each side. I often hold it for a lot longer than that just because it feels really good. And I'll often go back and forth about 3 or 4 times. The next critical stretch for the neck are the rotators of your neck. And the way I like to do this is also by anchoring my shoulder, by holding on back here, turning my head away from the arm that's anchored, and pushing slightly. This, as with all of the other stretches, you should be paying attention to any left to right imbalances. If you tend to have the ability to rotate further this way than this way, same thing with these, then you want to spend more time on the side that's tighter. I happen to be a bit tighter rotating this way, so I often spend more time on it. The next stretch is for the scalenes. These are muscles in this part of the body that support your ability to breathe. When you inhale, they help raise your rib cage. They often grow tight from faulty breathing patterns and lifestyle. The way we want to stretch this is by sitting up tall, turning up on a 45-degree angle, keeping your jaw closed, tongue on the roof of your mouth, and pushing either the jaw or the forehead. You'll feel that stretch deep within here. Anchoring the arm is also a good idea with this stretch. Oftentimes you can just hold on right here. And the last stretch that I'll show you today is for the levator scapula. And it does like it sounds. It helps elevate the scapula. And if you have an elevated scapula, you're going to kind of look a little bit like this. The way we stretch this is by taking this part of your hand, putting it at the base of your skull with your thumb beneath your ear, opening the elbow, looking down over this shoulder, and then act as if you're pushing your head, your skull, off of your neck. The point of having the arm like this is it helps depress the scapula as you push the head away from it. So that's it. If you're following a corrective stretching or exercise program to improve your posture and improve joint integrity, then you're going to want to make sure that you include the gap between your head and your body because it's a critical junction that's often overlooked. Done.